Hey, what up, creeps and peeps? Welcome to another episode on Awesome Tots. Today, we are going to test not one, not two, not three, but 4 AC power adapters for the Genesis Model 1. Alright, folks, so what we have here is 4 AC adapters. I do apologize for not saving the boxes for each one. Let's go ahead and take a look at each one. Okay, so now the first one. This is the Retroversal. Let's take a nice look here. This is from RetroBit, the Retroversal. This has an output of 9 volts at 350 milliamps. Now, those of you in the know, this is quite low for the standard Sega Genesis. Let's find out how it works. Next up, this here is a completely generic, didn't even advertise specifically that it was for the Genesis, but it has the right plug, the right terminals, it is the right negative, and we have here the model number. This here is an output of 9 volts at 1000 milliamps. Alrighty. Next, here we go. This one is, actually I have a box for this. This one is output of 9 volt at 1.2 amps. This one does advertise it is for the Sega Genesis. It is, of course, the Tomee or whatever AC adapter wall charger supply. I bought this on Amazon. I didn't mention, but the generic one was an eBay purchase. And the last one, of course, we have the original OG Sega Genesis Beast. This is the real deal that came with the Model 1. This specific model is 10 volts at 1.2 amps. Alright, now let's plug these bad boys in and see what we get. We're going to start with the RetroBit and see what kind of luck we have. Alright, folks, now it's time to try out that RetroBit adapter. This is the universal adapter that is only 350 milliamps. Now we are going through a VCR. This is a JVC SVHS Hi-Fi SR-V101 US unit. I have done this with and without the VCR many times, and I do believe that the quality is just about identical. This is one hell of a VCR. I absolutely love it, and it is great to use as a pass-through when needed. So let's see what we get. We are going through standard old shitty-ass composite. Ooh, we got quite a bit of noise. Ooh, the lighting in here is not fantastic. Let's see what we can do about that. All right, now that's a little bit better. Now we've got our lights off. You can see the noise in the black. I'm not sure how well the camera is actually picking that up. Oh, and we actually lost signal for a second there. Let me grab my controller. If you haven't figured it out yet, we're doing Tiny Toons All-Stars. Alright, now this is the game demo. I'm not actually playing yet. Let's just let it run. Whether I play or not is no difference. Alright, let's see what we got. And you can see all that noise in the darks. It is not good. And the fact that we went out once is pretty disconcerting. Okay, well, I think you have an idea of what's going on here. Alrighty. Let's move on. Alright, up next we've got the completely unlabeled generic power cable. Let's see what we get from this guy. Okay, here we go again. Lots of noise, lots of discoloration. You can see a lot of that weird rainbowy effect around some of the letters. Actually looks relatively similar, if you ask me. Relatively similar. Oop. Oh, no signal. So the RetroBit didn't lose signal enough to actually display no signal on the TV. It only lost it for a fraction of a second. This one lost it enough to actually go to no signal mode. Yeah, I mean, other than the noise, the quality is about the same. It's interesting to me that the quality does differ depending on what kind of AC adapter you use. I never would have thought that would actually be a thing. I figured they'd be either they would work or they wouldn't, but as it turns out, the quality could be affected depending on your AC adapter. Maybe you can't tell that quite so much yet, but it will come into play as we move along. Alright, again, this is quite enough. Let's move on. Okay, now we're moving on to the Tomee adapter. Let's see what the Tomee adapter has in store for us. Ooh, that might be even worse. I don't know, might be the same. Either way, lots of noise. Just doesn't look great. I feel like that's got to be worse. Ugh, the Tomee adapter is just giving me tons of noise. Well, we didn't get any signal loss, so that's always good. This one does specifically say it's made for Genesis Model 1, so it is doing its thing. We don't have any cutting out. It just looks really dirty. There's a sort of these lines moving up the screen that are very hideous. I think I'm going to cut this one a little short since we've kind of get the idea. We already have a lot of colors, blacks, darks. I don't see the need to run this for forever. Let's move on to our last one, the original OG Sega Beast. Alright, we are now plugging in the original OG Sega Beast. My camera would just fucking stay still. Here we go. Now we have a lot less noise. The noise is almost gone. Well, by gone, I mean it's about as good as composite really gets. We got kind of a uniform bit of noise across the entire screen. A little bit of darkness around the Sega logo, but I mean the sort of vertical moving bits of noise are now gone. Again, not sure how the camera picks these up, but in person they were absolutely hideous with all three previous adapters, the worst being the Tomee. Now the generic might have been a little better than the Tomee, but it cut out, which is a real problem. So as you can see, the OG is the way to go. This thing is just so much better. The uniformity across the screen is fantastic. And while there is a little bit of noise, it is at least very uniform corner to corner. Okay. Now, that wraps it up for the composite video tests. However, I am going to have a second video uploaded here that will be component tests. The way this will be done will be SCART to an RGB component adapter and back into the TV. If you've never done anything like this before, I can say that the results will certainly surprise you. So if you're interested to see how these actually handle a SCART cable, which has a lot more data being output through it, then please tune in to part 2. That's it for this one. Peace out.